Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy. We're here with Debbie from Survivor Game Changers and Co Wrong.
Hi, Debbie. Thanks for speaking with us today.
Well, thank you for your time, Joanne.
Did you consider not playing Survivor again, or was that an easy yes for you?
Oh, no, Joanne, it wasn't easy. And in large part because Cambodia was so brutal with the heat exhaustion, the heat stroke. Remember, I was there when I saw Caleb being taken off in the helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the life and death wasn't a joke. It was very real that people could suffer serious and permanent physical and mental damage. It was very real. So, no, it was not easy to go back.
How did your family react when you told them you were going to play again?
Oh, well, they reacted, good luck. They've been very supportive. But this time, win, Mom. They were good about it. But, they were aware and scared and hurt by the whole experience with them, the heat exhaustion. So, be careful, take care of yourself, gain more weight this time.
Did Jade and Crystal have any specific advice for you going back out there on how to prepare this time?
Well, Joanne, should we start talking in this tone of voice? Joanne.
This is Stacy.
This is Stacy?
Yeah, you're talking to Joanne and Stacy.
Okay, hello. The biggest thing was to gain more weight, try to fly under the radar, which, believe it or not, I do. They just really wanted me to win, Stacy.
So, what was your reaction when you first saw who the other returning players were? And was there anyone you did or didn't want to work with?
Well, I just thought, wow, what a group, the gameplay here is going to be squared, just, 10 to the second power as to the experience and, the little Survivor tricks that they've accumulated over the years. Honestly, Joanne, I had always gone in wanting to work with a strong guy to act as my shield, and in return I would, feed him information when he was the target. So I've always very much admired Monica Culpepper, a woman my age, same slight build, the same derogatory comments with being drug along and being a goat. And of course, poor Monica was crucified when she made it to the end at that tribal. They grilled her. So I always had a lot of respect and empathy for Monica. And then when Brad played, I wasn't quite sure I understand why Brad was so disliked and, maybe even despised. I just didn't understand it. So I thought, Brad seems like a good guy. His wife is, a wonderful lady. So perhaps Brad and I can have a symbiotic deal where we benefit from him blocking me and me blocking him.
Did you set up a pregame alliance with him?
Not pregame, but it was right out of the gate.
How did the Game Changers title end up affecting your game?
Well, I think, Stacy, the pressure was on everybody to be a game changer to make even bigger moves. If you were considering making a move, well, it's Game Changers. Yeah, go for it. So, any question of going for it or not, I think the Game Changers title made you go for it.
Tell us how you were able to smuggle food back to camp from the Merge Feast.
Now, what makes you think I did?
Haley actually said something about that.
I'm innocent, I swear, I did.
Because she said that you were almost strip searched for food, but that you managed. Deny, Joanne.
Okay. Deny.
After you voted out Ozzy, did anyone else step up as the provider at camp, and were they able to catch fish?
Oh, sure. Brad was catching fish also. There were giant clams, so yeah.
Did you feel like you had a good amount to eat? We noticed you only lost like 1.5 pounds when you came out.
Yeah, well, Stacy, you know why? Because I was on exile. And I ate like a freaking camel heading into the Sahara Desert, for God's sake. How about that? I thought I was going to be the only person in history who actually gained weight on the show. How funny is that?
Yeah.
But look, I like Ozzy very much. Wine connoisseur, Epicurean, just, survival aficionado, just a good guy. He expended all that energy going out and catching fish, but the truth is you brought back 5 fish to 15 people. it really didn't go that far, and he spent so much energy acquiring it that pretty much you're starving no matter how you look at it. So, do I appreciate everything he did, and was he a good provider? Yes. But you would have had to come back with Moby Dick to keep the tribe happy at that point anyway. There was just so many of us.
Okay. So how long did it take to fly to the Asawa Islands, and how long did you get to stay there?
Now, which one was that? Was that where we had the feast on the water airplane?
Yeah.
Yes, on the seaplane, yeah.
That was quite a flight, I think it was well over an hour in which we were demanding in-flight snacks that we didn't get. So how long were we there? Maybe 2 hours. It's hard to say, Joanne. You kind of lose perspective of time out there.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to follow that up with another time question. How long did it take Suri to complete the reward challenge?
Yeah, again, probably a good hour. I really don't know, but it was certainly, truncated for the viewing audience. You only get so much time, but it took quite some time.
Did anyone in your group mention seeing that secret advantage that we saw Sarah find last night?
No, the only thing they complained about that it was much closer to the other side, and they therefore had an unfair advantage that it wasn't over on our side of the dock. Mm-hmm. So no, I don't think any of us did see it. I did not.
Did you know that Sierra had an advantage, or that Ty and Troy had hidden immunity idols?
I didn't know Troyzan did. I don't know if I knew Ty had too. You know what, Stacy? I just don't remember.
Okay.
What were your thoughts when you saw how the episode was edited to show how angry you were at Brad after the challenge on the balance beam, and how they flashed back to what you had said?
Oh, well, I wish somebody would have simply given me a Snickers bar because I was hangry, when I thought that it was, again, truncated and, a little bit out of sequence. Of course, I would have edited differently. I was surprised that I came across so, vociferous. I'm a pretty laid-back person in my real life. Now, I was never, ever truly that angry with Brad or deserting our alliance or going to throw him under the bus. So part of it was me acting and overreacting to make sure everybody fed me information when Brad was the target. Ozzy was sent packing because when Ozzy and I had a conversation alone, his number one target was Brad, his number two target was Sierra, my number one and number two alliance. So it just seemed like it got out of hand, and there was some other parts where I was actually saying, I'm never throwing Brad under the bus, but I don't want anybody to believe that. They have to believe that they can tell me they're after Brad, so I can tell him and keep him with me until I am ready to get rid of him. So, look, I came across as a wanker. I'm not happy with it that I conducted myself in that fashion, but a lot of it was just acting and blown out of proportion.
Let's go back to Exile Island boat there. Did you have a place to sleep out of the weather, or a shower? What else was available to you there?
Oh, Stacy, what happened on Exile stays on Exile. Okay. So I had this lovely hammock with a lot of fluffy pillows and a lot of fluffy blankets, and I got to look up at the stars, and I had peace, I had quiet, I got to swim in the ocean alone. Pretty cool. And I got to eat and drink 24/7, whatever I wanted. It was pretty cool.
How do you feel it affected your game to get to spend that time with Cochran?
Being somebody, I think I went in there weighing 115 pounds. I mean, it really sustained me. Like, you just get so, at least I do, you get so depleted so quickly. I mean, it gave me a huge boost. It was a tremendous benefit.
Did you tell anyone in your alliance the truth about your experience?
Casey, I did not tell anybody, no one. I literally, my lips were sealed. I hope they enjoyed watching it. I thought it would be a good surprise, a good way for them to get, a good kick out of it. And, they asked me, did you have fire? Did you have rice? Nope, no fire, no rice. I mean, really? Who would have believed me if I would have told them the truth? It was that cool.
Yeah.
Were you aware that Sierra told Sarah that she wanted her to be in the final three with the two of you?
Yes, Joanne, I very much was so. And it was one of the things that Sierra and I did talk about, and, you know, this was another conversation you just weren't privy to. You only have so much time on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I never wanted to throw Sierra or Brad under the bus, and they probably would have been, you know, the final three. And sometimes in life there's just people, if you lose to, you know, you can be a really gracious loser and you're glad, you know, they got a break and $1 million check. Sierra Dawn is a very, very hardworking girl who is a great human being who, quite frankly, I'd love to see get a check for $1 million. Just loved every minute I spent with her. When I got voted out, you didn't see me give her a hug, a kiss, hey, you know, go get him, cowgirl. She did talk about it being the three women, but you know, there was just always this uneasy, watching Sarah playing both sides, swearing on her son's life. Sarah swore again and again and again on her little boy's life. She wasn't going to screw us over. She wasn't going to screw me over. She was with us. And to me, it was just something, you know, a little icky, a little tawdry. You don't swear on a little child's life because it's just like tempting the gods. I personally wouldn't go there. And I think we all know now from this Survivor season, there's just some lines that you don't cross. They are subjective, but for me, sacrificing my kids, or even saying it in jest that I would sacrifice my child, that's my allegiance to you, I'm in it. It just gave me an icky feeling about Sarah. So.
What were you trying to accomplish by telling Aubrey that Sarah didn't trust her?
Well, Sarah didn't trust her. At least that's what she said to me. What was I trying to accomplish? Maybe, you know, being in Aubrey's good graces. Because I really did want to work with Aubrey, but I also really didn't think it was going to happen.
What were your reasons for wanting to vote out Michaela before Andrea?
Largely because Mr. Culpepper had spent quite a bit of time with Michaela away from me, and she had seriously been grating on his nerves. And on top of all the other deprivation, starvation, provocation, the disingenuousness, the, you know, being exhausted, the last thing you need is somebody who's rubbing your fur the wrong way. And Michaela just seemed to do that to quite a few people, Brad in particular. So Brad wanted her to go, and that was enough reason for me to want her to go. Personally, I liked Michaela.
Did you have any injuries or health issues out there this time?
I did, yes.
What happened?
My foot got infected.
Did you get something in it, or just contract something, or?
You know, I believe, Joanne, that there was probably just a piece of coral reef up underneath it that even once the doctor had taken it out, it probably closed around it. But, yeah, one morning I just got up and it was like somebody stuck an air hose in there and pumped it up. But,
okay.
You know, my fault, I just couldn't stand wearing my shoes after a while. So, yeah, I ran around barefoot a lot.
Yeah, I do that too.
It's comfortable, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And you know what, Joanne? Your shoes. I don't know what gets more disgusting than your shoes.
That's
you
true.
can wash your clothes, beat them out against the rock. You know, they dry. The sun is tremendously powerful at killing germs. But your shoes, they're so disgusting. So disgusting that, yeah, I just stopped wearing them after a while.
Hey, Debbie, what's next for you?
I don't know, Stacy. You know, right now, I've got two kids that just graduated college, you know, went into the real arena. I don't know.
Well, Debbie, thank you so much for sharing with us today, and good luck to you.
Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Stacy. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. You have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.